Hello, good afternoon. It's just gone 22 minutes after 5 o'clock. This is GB News. We are Britain's election channel. Don't forget as well, check out our coverage on Thursday and throughout Friday. I'll be out and about. If you're somewhere in Yorkshire, you could probably meet me there. But listen, we will bring you all of the coverage you must. Stay tuned to us because it's very exciting. But it's time now for the Great British Debate this hour. And I'm asking, have the TV debates swayed your vote? Now, they remain a staple of election campaigns, both here and, of course, in other countries, with many political leaders relishing the chance to face off against the other opponents, whilst also putting across their own version of events. So what do you think? Are they seemingly still impactful? Joe Biden's weak performance on Thursday's presidential debates has led to panic among many Democrat donors, although I don't know what took them so long, with some even considering withdrawing money in an attempt to force the 81-year-old to step aside, see if Jill will help. And new polling suggests that Labour's lead over the Conservatives has fallen to its lowest level in more than 2 years after Sir Keir Starmer's sub-par performance in his final head-to-head debate, although I don't know whether that will make any difference at all. Rishi Sunak was on fighting form earlier this week. However, as more and more people, especially the younger generations, get their news online and via social media, some actually argue that the TV debates have become irrelevant. So for the Great British Debate this hour, I'm asking, have the TV debates swayed your vote? Joining me to discuss, political commentator Lee Harris. He's still here, couldn't get rid of him. Leader of UKIP, Neil Hamilton, and also broadcaster and lawyer Andrew Eborn. In fact, all of them. Can't get rid of any of them. Right, I'm going to start. Right, well, Andrew Eborn, what do you think?
I'll tell you what I think. I was surprised because I researched this extensively.
Oh, did you?
To see what the effect might be on TV debates.
OK.
And we've just had the thing about Biden and his extraordinary performance. And in the news just a few minutes ago, they said it made no difference at all. There's some great research out of the States where they basically analysed 56 TV debates over 31 elections all the way globally. And they worked out, basically 94,000 people did the response, and they worked it out, made no difference at all. And I was shocked by that, because you would think that this is what's going to happen. I don't
believe that. In fact,
well, this is interesting.
I know somebody who has said that they were going to vote for one of the people there and have simply changed their mind, having seen the performance in one of the debates. Lee Harris.
Yeah, I love the debates. I've got to be a big fan of the debates. I don't think it's made a blind bit of difference in this election in the UK at all. I think people have made their minds up a long time ago about who they're going to vote
I think there's
for.
a large portion of people who are undecided, Neil, don't you think?
Well, there may be. I mean, it made no difference to my vote because I've already cast it. And that's one of the problems, of course, of modern election campaigning, is that the postal votes, if they're delivered early enough, of course, which is a problem in this campaign, means that half the election campaign is ahead of you when you've cast your vote.
Yes.
So it makes an election campaign in the traditional sense of the term rather subpar. I mean, I don't know whether anybody is really convinced one way or another by what they see on the television. I mean, after 60 years in politics, come with a complete range of fully worked-out prejudices, which I'm never going to change. You know, I'm not really too bothered by what I see in the rather artificial circumstances of a television scene.
I think you underestimate the power of those debates. Remember what happened many years ago? Who was it? The debate there that destroyed their chances. Who was it? I can't remember now. There've been so many. Everybody's everywhere. But there have been debates which have literally destroyed people.
Oh, and I think you would assume that.
I think you're wrong.
Well, I'm never wrong. It's my job to be right.
You are totally wrong. I'm right.
Well, you're always right. That is right.
That's right.
What is interesting, though, is that it's not just television now. And as you're right, people consume their content in a different way. And I got the stats in for the Biden-Trump debate. It was 51.27 million.
I was thinking about Nick
you're thinking about Nick Clegg.
Nick Clegg and his performance.
Yes, that's right. It wasn't good.
Changed things for him. Yes, that made a difference.
You would think so, but it's part of the mix now. It's the way that people consume content, because the new front line is online. And if you look, see what I did there. And so the whole thing about TikTok is appealing to a certain demographic and so on and so forth. What you need to do, people don't get their news anymore from newspapers. They get it all online and social media. They tend to be in these echo chambers where you're reading the papers that you confirm your own views. And this is what the research said. So I was equally surprised. What the research said is that people didn't change their views as a result of it. Now, whether that's as a result of the pollsters getting it wrong, but it was quite an extensive survey over several different countries. The interesting thing is the decline in television. I said the number of viewers for the Biden-Trump debate was 51.27 million. That was 30% down on the last last time, which was 73 million. And even that was down on the biggest one, which was obviously Clinton against Trump, which was 84 million. So there's a massive decline in television where people are consuming things differently.
There might be a decline in television, but I object. I object to your view. No, I think you're wrong. I think you're really wrong. I think TV debates really do matter, especially for the undecided voters, which are, you know, you're watching and looking for the candidates and seeing what they're saying and how they behave, and you're judging whether they'll be good in a sort of leadership role. And I'll just come to you, Lee.
Yeah.
You know, for example, Keir Starmer, his polling has gone down since that debate, and you could argue that this equates to the performance during the week.
I completely agree with you, and I think that has had an impact. Keir Starmer came apart in that interview. And fair enough, Rishi Sunak did really well at pulling Keir Starmer apart. I think they do make a big difference, the debates. I think it's just this particular election, our particular election, I think, is people are so angry with the Conservatives, as we can see with the polling. I'm not sure it would make a big difference. But what I agree with you on is if something were to happen, something big were to happen, maybe a bit like seeing Keir Starmer getting torn apart by Rishi Sunak or making a big mistake, it could have an impact on the result. So I think you are absolutely right. The debates are... I love them, I've got to admit. I really love them because I'm a political...
Nerd.
We should get.
I think we all like them.
We should get Jane, who phoned in on the BBC that day, to speak to them all, to question them all.
Yes.
that makes a difference. Jane will make a difference.
Yeah, well, I think that is a much better format.
The radio
is to have a really testing interviewer.
Yes.
Who probes very deeply and doesn't take a BS answer from the candidate, whereas the kind of formulaic process that we've got for these debates makes it very difficult to score points. I think, as with life in general, you can screw things up and that might harm your chances. It's very difficult to do something positive, which is going to enhance.
But it's all part of the mix, isn't it? And it's a very interesting programme on a different channel about AI, which is my pet subject, and how that influenced people. They did a little experiment. They put two groups and they fed them these fake newses and other bits and pieces with various campaigns and deep fakes and people saying different things, and that had a big influence. They then did a fake voting. So what happens is all this information is going in. So when you're looking for the hearts and souls and the minds of the people, you need to work across all those different platforms, and that's how they control it.
Fake news is everywhere, of course. That's at all times.
Yes.
So about finding out what is the truth is the great challenge of the modern age.
But it was the word of the year in 2017 was fake news, and last year, 2023, was AI. You combine those and it's a dangerous formula.
And it connects well with social... That's what I was going to say. It connects well with social media. As you were saying, you know, I do it myself. These debates get clipped, they get put onto social media, and they can have a really big impact. And like I said, if something goes wrong, something big goes wrong, that will have in my view, a big impact on the election.
Well, it's the Punch and Judy show. Where's your career? Behind you. You work on that basis.
Yeah, well, listen, thank you very much, guys. Very interesting, your thoughts on that. What do you think at home? gbnews.com/you'll say. Have the TV debates swayed your vote in any way, shape or form? Did you think that someone's performance was so good that you would change your vote to that person, or so bad that you decided to withdraw your support? Thank you so much to Lee Harris, political commentator, former leader of UKIP, Neil Hamilton, also broadcaster and lawyer Andrew Eborn. Right, well, I'll just play this little thing for you, just to see what happened, because Joe Biden, obviously, you saw what happened there. I'm going to show you a quick clip. This is him speaking at the rally in North Carolina following his disastrous TV debate.
I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job. I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
If you can. Right. Exactly.
I don't think he was standing up. I think he was flat on the floor with the camera on the ceiling.
Well, listen, you're with me. I'm Nana Requid. This is GB News on TV, online and on digital radio. Coming up, we will continue with the Great British Debate this hour. I'm asking, have the TV debates swayed your vote? You'll hear the thought of my panel, author and broadcaster Christian Hamilton, and also broadcaster and journalist Danny Kelly. But first, let's get your latest news with Sam Francis.
In the US, President Biden's approval rating remains unchanged following a widely criticised debate performance. A poll by Morning Consult found the president retains a 1-point advantage over Donald Trump, which is the same margin recorded the day after Trump was convicted of criminal charges. However, 60% of those surveyed said the president should be replaced before November's election, though no alternative candidates performed better in the poll. And in sport, England are now a goal down against Slovakia in Gelsenkirchen as the squad are hoping to book their place in Euro 2024 quarter-finals. If you're watching on TV, you can see here the fan zone in Wembley where the atmosphere has now visibly dampened as England are behind for the first time in the tournament. Kobe Mainoo started in place of Conor Gallagher in the only change to Gareth Southgate's starting 11. England, though, are now down to 10 players due to injury, well, with a place against Switzerland at stake. England captain Harry Kane had told the pre-match press conference he was confident the players are going into the knockout stage in top form. Time will, of course, tell. About 15 minutes left in this first half. Those are the latest GB News headlines for now. I'm Sam Francis. More in the next half hour.
For the very latest GB News direct to your smartphone, sign up to News Alerts by scanning the QR code or go to gbnews.com/alerts.
I think there was a collective sigh of when you heard the score. How much have they paid? 100 grand a week? Right, I think actually that's a conservative estimate. But coming up, we'll be going live to England, the fan zone, and as they take on Slovakia in the Euros 2024. We know the score currently is 1-0, not to us. But next, it's time for the Great British Debate. This hour, I'm asking, have the TV debates swayed your vote?